This is Anais. Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for the current energies of the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine in Sacred Union. If you haven't watched my preview video, which explains the way that I approach the card readings as an intuitive reader, I suggest that you watch that video. A short explanation is that I am an intuitive reader. I don't read traditional tarot. I am reading and translating current energies that are happening for the divine union, sacred masculine, sacred feminine dynamic. Some people may self-identify more as twin flames. It doesn't matter what label you use. My readings are based on a conversation that's framed by an understanding that sacred union is a process between source, divine feminine, and divine masculine, and that both the feminine human embodied and the masculine human embodied as energies are clearing distortions, clearing energetic distortions so that they can come into union within themselves, then come into union with source, and then come into union with others, each other, so that they can come into union in a much more energized way within the collective, bringing their gifts to the collective to continue with the ascension journey that we're on. Okay, that being said, I also pre-shuffle, pre-cut, and choose the cards before I record my readings because it facilitates the process for me. I sit and I meditate on the cards. I feel the information and the energies, and then I just simply let it roll. Adding and using whichever decks and however many cards I feel the energetic impulse to use. So first up today for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, we have the Divine Masculine holding the Swan energy and the Divine Feminine holding the Horse energy. And these are two energies that are now working in tandem. This is the Divine Masculine continuing to explore his graceful side, his receptive side, and the side of him that is ready to be in union with his divine feminine. And the horse represents a power and a strength and ability to go the distance and to carry weight as well as move with speed and agility. Also a very graceful animal. And so the divine feminine is carrying this energy as I am doing this intuitive reading today. So then we're going to look at what are the dynamics that are up for each side of the union. This is about energy. It's about masculine and feminine energy. It has nothing to do with biological gender. We are both carrying masculine and feminine energies as co-creators and part of creation within us, and we're learning to balance those energies. A reminder that in the transition that we're making with the ascension journey, the co-creative energies will be shifted from 2/3 masculine, 1/3 feminine, to 1/3 source, 1/3 masculine magnetic, and 1/3 feminine magnetic, and 1/3 masculine electric. This is the balance that we are moving into as we're coming out of closed entropic system of binary code yin-yang 0-1. Okay, so now we know that we have the divine masculine is working with the energy of the swan today. Graceful, mates for life, and for some people in the sacred union journey, this is an important aspect of their wholeness. They do want to have the experience of what it's like to have a trustworthy, balanced, intimate partner for the lifespan, or for whatever would be the natural lifespan of a co-creative relationship. For the divine feminine, we have the energy and the stamina and the power of the horse, as divine feminine is continuing to balance the inner masculine within her so that she can easily ebb and flow and do the spiral dance with her divine masculine within and in the external, if they are in a physical relationship, whether that's a love relationship, family, friendship. This relationship can take and does take every form of human relationship that we know. So this is not entirely about romantic love, although some people in the twin flame community will continue to hold on to that template or paradigm. All right, next out for the divine feminine energy, we have the feline, which is about attending to details and getting the T's crossed and the I's dotted and the structure in place so that the union energy can come forward fully fleshed out and formed. And even though this is a step-by-step process, each day we are given tasks to attend to that are part of the journey and that we need to include in whatever our normal day looks like in our embodied awareness. Now, coming along with the feline is Nellis the alchemist, and you see she has her wand poised and ready to flip the switch. And this is the switch of, okay, what happens once we come into union? What do we need to do? What are the impulses that we are following once the structure has been set up and the details of our work and our project and our mission and our life together has been aligned on a timeline where we're flowing into and out of each other's lives, perhaps on a much more frequent basis. And this could include living together and then doing your work together as a couple that lives together, with each having their own independent interests, attending to their own independent wholeness and interdependent needs, but poised and ready to serve the union. So this is where the divine masculine energy currents are, ready to attend to the details and ready to ignite a spark to move the journey along whenever this is a part of his work, part of his task, his inner and outer work to do. Next up, for the divine feminine, we have the Master Maker. It's a 22 card. It's a mastery number. In my sacred union, the number 22 figures into numerology in terms of birthdays, and the Master Maker is the co-creator. This is someone who is very capable, is matching the energy of Lys the alchemist. So both the masculine and the feminine are poised and ready to go into their specific tasks of igniting whichever aspects of the union they are responsible for taking care of, in igniting the energies in themselves and igniting the energies in their partners. Now, this is a very important part of the continued inner healing work, because when we're in sacred union, we do ignite ourselves, and when we ignite ourselves, our partners are ignited into deeper work, and vice versa. When our partners are ignited into deeper work within themselves, we absolutely have that information transferred to us, and we are taken into that depth of work along with them, and we do this in tandem. And for those of you who are just finding out about the sacred union journey, this could really mean that you're becoming more aware of telepathy between you and your sacred union partner. Whether or not you have met them in the physical or interacting with them in the physical. In 5D, the translation of these energies from 5D to 3D has been going on for quite some time, but it's been happening in waves. So this may mean that you find yourself ignited into energetic process, and this information will be shown to you in your dreams. It could happen when you're asleep, and you may sort of wake up with a new aha or deeper awareness of yourself, and it will adjust your timeline. So sacred union partners serve each other and serve the union in this way. We also have out for the divine feminine, Titan the self. And this is a fairy energy, or an energy that can turn on a dime, pivot, absolutely take on the responsibility of a quick shift within the union. Now, we have had some major shifting going on following the solar eclipse, and Titan the self will be part of quickly adjusting inner and outer work, and adjusting sacred union timelines, and bringing unexpected changes, or perhaps quickening the process, or changing the process, or changing a dynamic. And that is the task of the divine feminine at this point, with her intuition and her understanding of herself and her inner work. She may feel the impulse and join Titan the self energy with that of the master maker, to move obstacles, to bring forward other major pieces of past life work that need to be cleared, or ancestral line energy that needs clearing, and that it's time to turn on a dime and make sure that those processes are ignited, because we have to keep pace with what our planetary being Gaia is doing in her 5th level and rainbow bridge energies. Next out, on the side of the divine masculine, we have the 5 of air, which is I have to rise above a certain level of uncertainty in order to serve myself and to serve the union and to be in balance in my wholeness. And this is a dance that I'm doing now. This is very different from the Hanged Man. This is, I am fully energized. I have taken myself through my hard work and attending to my inner needs and awareness of my intuitive impulses. I have lifted myself up where I can see above and beyond the fluttering flurry of information that may not serve the union. This could be information about other relationships. This could be information about working dynamics. There's information here about how I rise above any apparent chaos and conflict and uncertainty in this union, ready to move. And you can see here that this energy matches very much the energy of Titan the self. Now, while Titan the self energy is happening in a higher dimensional, higher frequency energy flows, this information is feeding this information in the divine masculine. So he is preparing to make quick adjustments that will serve himself, serve his divine feminine, and serve the union. Now, next out for the divine masculine, see if we can get the glare off the card, is the 2 of earth. And this is again more balancing of resources, more moving the energy of coming out of duality and coming into balance. Now here you see there's a resource, a symbol for a resource, and here we have the divine energy here being representative of the 3rd way, that we gain our balance, and we are continually seeking our balance as we are interacting with Source, so that we are no longer stuck in the 3D system of duality. This is a beautiful card representing coming out of the entropy of yin yang and coming into the fullness of ourselves in our divine union as a sacred trinity. Next out for the divine feminine, we have the Eight of Earth. And this is all about, again, balancing resources. This is continuing to do the work, the inner work, paying attention to the obstacles and blocks, whether they be emotional or mental. We're really moving into doing the refinement work that is in our energy subtle bodies, in our emotional body, in our mental bodies. And with the shift of the new moon solar eclipse, we are moving out of the dynamic of being caught in the binary system anchored through our solar plexus. Many of you will find that your solar plexus or your third chakra is beginning to dissolve, disintegrate, and the information that you need to move on in sacred union will blend harmoniously into your 12 chakra system. Now, next we have the Four of Water, which is the emotional energy, the balance of what we prioritize as we're coming into balance in our own emotional subtle bodies, and how we use our emotional energy in our daily lives to co-create with and in balance with Source and with Gaia and with the collective. So I see this as not looking at cups that have been spilled. We're building on what has come before. We're not losing anything. We are gaining as we come into being able to hold these frequencies, hold these energies, and open into more love and more light and more balance between light and dark, shadow and light within ourselves, and transmuting all of that and opening to more and more and more love, which is absolutely one of the key tasks and one of the beautiful rewards of the sacred union journey. So we have, again, a very powerful combination of earth and water coming into a balance with resources and emotions, and shifts in our energy bodies, so that we're able to continue to do the inner work in a very powerful, balanced, and feeling way, so that when we move into this energy, we are moving into this sphere, this plasma sphere, this emotional sphere of energy. We are holding it, she's holding it just above her heart, and it is her focus. So she is holding the more love, yes please, thank you, more energy of the union, and this is about co-creation. It's not about manifestation, where I create just for me. Okay, now we're going to go a bit deeper into what are the shadow elements that both the masculine and the feminine are looking at with current energies. So first out we have the snake. And for me, this is a representation of the Tothian system. This is for me represents the daisy of death. This is not the I forget what they call it in that system. The something about the life, flower of life. This is an illusion that is withheld and cherished within shadow dynamics. And so the snake dynamics, I have complete videos on what that dynamic looks like, and I've posted it, and I invite you to check that information out. So this is what the divine masculine is working to clear in his work, to come out of distortion, to come out of the patriarchal distortion, which has the 3D construct completely wrapped up in this energy of illusion and mythology and manifestation. So this is really, we are now, thanks to the shift and the solar eclipse, this energy is now being dealt with directly. The collective in sacred union is ready to take on this archetype directly in every realm of human endeavor and to dissolve its power and to release the 5D love and above and the rainbow bridge, to release it completely from this dynamic. It's a very complicated dynamic. We'll probably be talking more about this in the Meeting the Beloved in Sacred Union presentations that I'm offering on my Patreon page. You'll find a link in the description below. And next out, for the Divine Feminine, we have the Spider, which is perfect. Very interesting that these would come out, because this is another archetypal energy in terms of what have been called in the past the princes and principalities that control the 3D construct that we all recognize is very, very anti-life in its manifestation. And this represents the archon energy, where our unconscious information is used to continue to spin the dynamics in a form of spell casting way, where our emotions and our imagination and our creative and sexual impulses are used to spin illusion. And the illusion is designed to sustain the 3D construct, the binary code, zeros and ones, and using our consciousness to keep us trapped within the system. So this is also a very powerful image of the nets, the electronic nets, the digital nets, the psychological nets, the electrostatic nets that the Sacred Union Collective has been clearing for decades as we're coming up into this ascension journey, and we're approaching its completion. So the shadow dynamics today are very powerful because we're dealing with two primary archetypal energies that are anti-life energies. And the collective has become strong enough. We've reached a tipping point where in Sacred Union, as part of our mission work, we are closing down, separating from, and letting this system find its own way back to source. And the same is true of the archon energy, where we are spun into states of illusion and separation and heartbreak using our own unconscious material, because we have not come into unity within ourselves with our subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds. So this is a really wonderful development. I'm very excited about this. This is great. It's going to be disturbing and challenging for some of us, but this is how we get out of this, and we fall into our natural organic rhythms of wholeness as we journey home on our way back to source and source alignment in our lives. All right, so that is, I'm going to do two more cards for the general reading, and these are oracle cards. The first one is Go the Distance, and this one is out for the Divine Feminine. For the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine is being encouraged to just keep on going the distance, because the power has now shown up in the collective to go right for the snake energy and clear it out of ourselves and clear it out of our psyches and our bodies and our mutations, and make sure all of our DNA activated, and this just disappears onto a timeline that no longer impacts our own personal lives and the global collective. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then for the Divine Feminine, we have new life. Here she is. This is Gaia hatching her new life, her transformed, transmuted life in 5D. All of us who have been doing our work are with her, and we have been in this process of birth pangs for many, many years, and this again happened in waves, and now we're reaching the point where we are beginning to experience these waves of new life, source-aligned life in our subtle bodies, our 12D chakra systems, and our energetic balance. This is a beautiful affirmation of where the energies are right now. And we have one more card. This is about the collective. And this card is round and round. And for me, this absolutely falls in line with the shadow work of what, when I ask what is our greatest fear in the collective, in the Sacred Union Collective, this round and round card came out. And yes, we are all fully wary of continuing to be trapped in looping timelines in which nothing changes and nothing transforms, but we go round and round and think that we're actually in motion when we're simply just chasing our own tails. So that's it for the general reading this morning, and thank you very much. I'm going to continue in an extended, and if you'd like to carry on with me on that journey, I welcome you to do that. The link will be posted below. And if this is where you carry on with your own impulse to follow your heart's desires today in align with Source and your wholeness, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe.